Welcome to Subramani. I'm going to talk about the emotional needs of an investor and how it keeps changing. So let me start with a story. A friend of mine was coming to India, flying in from the US, and he had to take a connecting flight. I don't remember which airport, and a lady next to him was worried that she would miss her India flight if the gates were far away. So he said, just relax, take a deep breath, don't worry, because the gates will be near, because about 8 of us are in this flight who have to take the next flight. So they will hold the flight for a few minutes. So as long as you rush from here to there without loitering anywhere, you will be able to catch it. And she asked him how he knew. He worked in a company which made those software programs which would analyze the passenger load in each plane and find out where they were going and make sure that they got the appropriate gate. So for her, it came as a big relief, saying she's not going to miss the flight. Now, it's a huge emotional need, but could the airline company have sent her a message saying, just relax, or could this airline have announced saying, people flying to India, this is the gate number which is likely to be, so it won't be far away, so we have informed that we are a little late and you will be able to catch the flight. Could that have been handled emotionally well? Yes. Do airlines do it? Very few airlines do it. So I was talking to my friend about creating the software which would generate such messages automatically and send it to the pilots also, so the pilots could announce it. Another case was a person I know who was having a little kid, and the kid was not doing very well from a health point of view. So he picked his daughter and rushed to another friend who is a pediatrician. He just took the kid in his arms and said, "Don't worry, your child is going to live." Can you imagine what amazing emotional connect that you would have had, like that lady would have had with my friend, who's just who's not a advisor, not her doctor, nothing, just a co-passenger who accidentally happened to work in a company which made that software. Similarly, all of us as financial advisors get a chance to do that emotional connect, and you have to understand and worry about or have empathy towards the client as to what the client is going through. For example, a client whom you're onboarding for the first time is worried, who will have access to the money? Will my wife be able to access the money if I can't sign? To which account will it come? Who else can see this? Can you do a transaction on my behalf? And then telling the client, no, I can only suggest the transaction, execution of the transaction is still with you. The mutual fund house cannot redeem and send the money back to you, except in very rare cases where the numbers fall below a particular amount, right? So many people would not know many of these things, right? For example, a client who has done his KYC in the bank thinks his KYC in the mutual fund is also over, but we are a great country, we need to do separate KYCs, right? So sometimes the bank tells you, oh, this KYC will work for your mutual fund. Sometimes it tells you that it won't work for your mutual fund. So don't ask me how it works, I have no clue. So we get a chance to connect emotionally with the client on many such occasions, right? A client who has sold his business or her business, 20, 30, 40 years in the business, inherited from a parent, perhaps elder brother's business, younger brother's business, right? Holding it for such a long time and then selling it for a big amount of money. So of course, congratulations is due. But emotionally, are they able to handle it? Emotionally, are they able to say, okay, 40 years this was part of my life, now it's gone? Or a daughter going away in marriage, or a daughter going away for higher studies. Of course, all this requires money, but all this requires a lot of emotional content. Are we able to connect with the client at an emotional level? And also depends on how long the relationship has been. For example, a friend of mine called up and said, I'm taking a home loan for buying seriously a senior citizen home, and I'm taking a small loan. Now the insurance company attached to the bank is asking me to take a life insurance and telling me that if you commit suicide, after 1 year we will still pay you. Now that is a feature, but is this the way you talk to the client saying, hello sir, we are giving you a 3-year loan, and after 1 year if you commit suicide in your new house we will still pay the claim. This is a feature which should not be spoken about, right? It's very subtle, don't have to talk about it. So he was very hassled, so he called me and said, I am buying this second house for a piddly sum compared to his net worth, right? Let's say a net worth of 5-6 crores, 8 crores. He's putting about 20-30 lakhs in a house. He does not need insurance, right? The assets are much greater than his liabilities. He's taking a 20-30 lakh loan on a 5-6 crore kind of assets, what, 5%? This is very different from a 23-year-old, or sorry, a 33-year-old buying a house for 1.5 crores, where he's putting 25-30 lakhs of his own money, borrowing a crore. He's married, his wife is quit her job to look after the baby. He's got a 3-month-old baby. He needs insurance, right? Because there is somebody emotionally and financially dependent on him. Nothing can be done about the emotional part, but financially it can be covered by taking a term loan. Every time you buy an asset, you don't have to take term insurance. Yes, if the same person were a doctor and he was taking a 4 crore loan to build a new clinic or dispensary, yes, I would insist that he should take adequate insurance, because this 6 crores, 7 crores which he has is adequate for his mother and wife, right? His daughter is married and gone, so she's not dependent. So there's nobody really dependent on him, on his income, because he has created enough assets. This is the way to look at it. So you have to tell him that, look, you don't need insurance, there's nobody dependent on you. Not that emotionally it's nice to know there's nobody dependent on you, but the truth is financially there's nobody dependent on his wife, and mother and daughter are of course emotionally dependent on him, but not financially, so he does not need insurance. The question is how you convey it, and at least as unlike my friend and unlike this doctors also get a chance to connect emotionally with their client. But I don't know whether we are putting in enough efforts to emotionally connect with the client, because a client whose nest is empty, daughter has gone away to US, or daughter has gone away somewhere else for studying, and yes, of course, you had done a very good child plan, that money was useful, the kid is paying for, the kid had enough accumulated money to pay for it. For the balance, she took a bank loan, all that's fine, but there is an emotional part to it, saying, how are you adjusting? Are you planning to visit US? Do you need to keep some more money in liquid because next year when there is graduation? So talk about it, and I'm sure that the client will forward you some 20,000 pictures of how she's standing there and what she's doing in her new house, because it's a new emotional happening event for them also, right? So it's not going to be very easy. We get a chance as financial advisors and financial planners, or as doctors, to connect emotionally with clients. Not every other professional gets it, right? Your plumber doesn't get it, your newspaper vendor doesn't get it, your electrician doesn't, your interior decorator doesn't get it. Only the financial professional and the health professional get a chance. Maybe the trainer does, maybe the dietitian does, but that's about all. So here is your chance. Don't lose this opportunity. Don't say something foolish and lose this opportunity. Thank you. If you're an advisor watching this video, then I wanted to add a few steps. What can you do? First of all, anticipate this. Second, be prepared for it. Be prepared very well. Think of the questions, and also think whether any automated communication is going to the client, which is going to hurt. For example, I remember my friend of mine who is a financial planner. His client had lost his mother sometime on the 23rd of December or 24th of December. So his assistant very thoughtfully held back the Christmas greetings for that family, because the last thing that you want is a Christmas greeting from your financial planner or from your doctor, right? So anticipate this. It has to be very, very great emotional involvement in your business to be able to do that. Make sure that no automated response goes, which is very inappropriate, right? So don't send a happy birthday card if you know that person has lost his mother or father the previous day, or his spouse. Right, so be very clear about those kind of things. Make sure that you send some, maybe for some clients it is appropriate to send handwritten notes. So write it by hand, take a photo and send it. Even that makes sense because people preserve that. Or send a handwritten note. Couriers are available everywhere. Or if you know that the child is going abroad and you want to send something abroad for the kid, not for somebody else, send that gift, right? Some of very small occasions, perhaps very small amounts of money. It could be a book. Book is a great gift. If you know what his daughter or son read, you could buy a book and send that, right? So many of these things can be done which are very thoughtful and give you a chance to be emotionally connected to your client. Don't miss it. Thank you.